Hey guys, Matt from Back Yourself Fitness here, and welcome to another installment of the Triathlon Prep Series. So episode 2 of the Triathlon Prep Series. In episode 1, we looked at weeks 1 through 4 of the training for the triathlon sprint that's coming up. Now we're going to move more into specifics. We're going to break it down week by week, especially in these second 4 weeks leading up to the start of the tri. So I've broken down my previous week's training. So it's now Monday as I'm filming this. My training weeks are Monday through to Sunday. Just programming wise, that was the easiest way to work it. So we'll take it back to the end of week 4. End of week 4, I finished with a 30K bike and a 500 meter open water swim. Now that was on Sunday of week 4. So come Monday and Tuesday, I was a little bit fatigued because that was the biggest load that I've done so far in the training program. Now week 5 is where everything starts to kick up. What do I mean? Everything starts to be a bit more performance orientated towards the triathlon. So there's going to be more floating around the distances that, that the sprint tri has in them, but also things like upper body training takes on a different kind of life in this second half because I don't necessarily want to cook my upper body, especially if swimming is my weaker leg. So, as I said, week 4 finished with a ride and a swim. Moving into Monday. So Monday I was a bit fatigued from those 2 exercises, so it was a very low impact day to a certain extent. I did a HIIT session. Why a HIIT session? Because I can get in, get it done. Less than half hour training is done. Then in the afternoon, I did some upper body stability work. Now, a lot of the upper body stuff, like I said, you're going to see takes on a different kind of line of training in this second half because I don't really want to cook myself or put myself at the risk of injury realistically if I'm going to be pushing harder for swims. Moving into Tuesday, I did deadlifts in the morning. With my deadlifts, once again, I'm not pushing huge weights. Like I didn't even touch 100 kilos, but I tried to slow things down, feel every single move that I did, feel every muscle playing its role, feel the power muscles doing their role, because that's what's going to help me on the bike and on the run, and just complete good quality reps and stayed around annoying rep ranges like 6 to 8 reps, but slow and controlled, keeping the glutes under tension for as long as I could. That's a big thing, especially for someone like myself who has weaker glutes thanks to shitty hips. Things like keeping my glutes engaged is one of my biggest challenges. So you will see leg training or leg sessions that I have in this program can be more based around glutes. Moving into the Tuesday afternoon session, I was a little bit time poor, so I wanted to do my first lot of brick training. Now, brick training is where you take 2 or more legs of your triathlon, put them together and do them back to back. So for example, I did a bike into a run. You can do a swim into a run, you can do run into swim, swim into bike, whatever. As long as you're putting 2 or more legs together and getting that lactic acid buildup / trying to push through that fatigue for a longer period of time, just so you're prepped for what it's going to feel like come triathlon time. If the first time you're doing those 2 or 3 movements together is at the triathlon, it's going to be a shock to the system. So my advice is get in and start doing back-to-back movements together. So there's going to be more of that as this program progresses. So I did a 10K bike. I originally wanted a 20K bike, but once again, time poor, into a 5K run, just so the body can clock, cool, this is what it feels like, happy days. Got through that pretty good. Once again, it was only a 10K bike, so it's not going to be anything crazy. It was more so 10Ks of pre-fatigue before a 5K run. That's probably a better way to think about it. Moving into Wednesday. Now, Wednesday is generally a swim day for me, and this Wednesday is no different. I did 4 by 200 meter swims. So instead of just doing consistent distance, I wanted to keep my distances shorter, longer break in between, but hit them a little bit harder. So had 2 minutes break between each 200 meter swim and wanted to keep knocking them out. I tracked the the results or times on my watch off the top of my head. I can't think of them, but tried to keep them in that same ballpark. And yeah, once again, pushing through that fatigue. And I found, be it pool or open water swim, the hardest thing is kind of staying calm. Like obviously you're not holding your breath, but you're underwater. So there's that, oh my God, I can't breathe. And there's that little bit of panic that sets in. So controlling your fear, controlling your anxiety towards it's probably one of the hardest things to do, especially when fatigue grows. So managing that through higher intensity work was the challenge. Yeah, sure, your shoulders burnt, but yeah, managing what happens here was the biggest challenge in that session. Come the Wednesday afternoon, once again, it was another upper body mobility and stability session. A bit of a loosen up, if I'm being honest, from the swim in the morning. Now, these mobility sessions aren't like, door frame stretches for half hour or an hour. These are lightweight movements, so I can do shoulder press in those sessions, or I could do lightweight rows or flies or resistance band rotator cuff work, or actual stretches or trigger points. So it's not just stretching. They can be lightweight moves, they can be activation moves. It depends what I'm feeling. The Thursday, I try and have one session a week where there's no triathlon moves at all, just so I'm not cooking myself and cooking myself. Thursday, I did a overhead session, so military press, focusing on my technique through the move. Once again, the shoulders are going to need it for the swim. And then Thursday afternoon was an endurance session, just keeping the heart rate up with moves that weren't specifically triathlon related. Like for example, the row was in there, the assault bike was in there, but like higher rep ranges on things. So still training that overall capacity without actually being like, oh cool, I get to swim again, or oh cool, I get to run again. So keeping it fresh for mental stability, realistically. Friday was the first sign of performance and time. So Friday onwards, I looked more at time trial kind of stuff. So Friday was a 20K time trial bike with a Friday afternoon rest. So solid warm up, give it all I've got on the on the ride. It was into a wind the whole way, which sucked, but you got to train in the conditions you've got. You don't know what's going to happen on game day. So went out, gave it a crack as hard as I could. I would have liked it to be a little bit faster, but once again, the wind plus training by myself, I know that I'm capable of a better effort than what I did. Moving into Saturday. Saturday was a 5K run time trial with a nice recovery walk after that. Once again, I know I'm capable of more than that. I did a bit of a warm up. It's the end of the week, finished work, went straight into a run. Did it in 23 minutes, just over 23 minutes. So I'm pretty happy with that. I would like it down a little bit, but I'm not going to be doing it fresh on triathlon day. So I know there's not going to be PBs for 5K time trials on triathlon day. But once again, it's the first time trial. I've got a couple more of those to go before we actually hit the triathlon day. And then Sunday, which was yesterday, I did a 600 meter open water swim for time, and then Sunday afternoon was rest. So progressing more so into the triathlon moves, but time trial specific. Now this week, being week 6, is a big week. I'm now in my rhythm for the triathlon moves, but like I said, it's going to be doing that more brick training, so putting it together and pushing for time. So I know this morning I'm about to do some stretching and mobility. This afternoon I have a 20K bike. Now this 20K bike isn't going to be a time trial, it's going to be 70%. So working without being hectic, but coming up on Wednesday, I have a sneaky little, very relaxed attempt at the triathlon distances put together. So that's going to be the big day. I'm trying to keep a little bit of energy in the tank for that. Now, food-wise, things have started to change as well. I'm putting more and more and more food in. because of my cardio output is higher, so I'm just burning and burning and burning and burning. Carbs are my friend, straight up. And I can tell when I haven't eaten enough because I feel like shit and my performance is crap, or I just don't have the energy. So this next 3 weeks, 4 weeks is going to be, I need to be very, very wise with my food intake. I need to be very wise with my recovery. So you can see even towards the back end of week 5, I'm scheduling in more rest sessions because the intensity of my work is getting higher, or my duration of my work is getting higher. So that's where we're at. 5 weeks in the can now. I'm going to post the full breakdown to the Back Yourself Fitness blog. So check out the Back Yourself Fitness website. The link is in the description for this video, plus the actual breakdown of what my training has been and what I'm doing nutrition and rest wise. But episode 2, 5 weeks down, we're into week 6 now. I look forward to the check-in come the end of this week. Let's see how the fatigue levels are come the end of the week. All right, I'll see you guys in episode 3.